Hello once again and welcome to this week's Build Report, our weekly news show sponsored by Havio, the health and safety experts. Please do subscribe to our channel and set the bell to remind you of all the news shows. The bigger we grow, the more content we can produce and share, and the bigger voice we have to change the industry for the better. The CPA, the Construction Plant-Hire Association, is taking an active role in the fight against plant theft. Along with other contributors, a total of £650,000 has been raised to fund NCAT, a specialist team of police officers that cover the whole of the country to help tackle the theft of construction plant and equipment by organised criminal gangs. On the August bank holiday weekend, the NCAT team recovered a stolen JCB telehandler and a high lift dumper. This is a fantastic initiative and I hope they continue to recover stolen plant and construction equipment. Quite simply, construction workers and trades cannot work if our machinery and tools have been robbed. And while we're on this subject, I would like to add that anyone who buys machinery or tools they know are stolen, you're as bad as the thieves. If no one buys them, it's going to go a long way to helping with this huge problem the industry faces. There are still 2,300 residential buildings waiting for remediation of unsafe cladding to start. Latest government data reveals there are 4,613 residential buildings 11 metres and over with unsafe cladding. Data released by the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government says work has started on only 50% of these buildings. Only 1,350 of these have actually been completed. Only last week a fire broke out at a high-rise block of flats in Dagenham that ironically was undergoing cladding remediation to replace the high-pressure laminate panels. It took around 225 firefighters and 40 fire engines to put this fire out. The London Fire Brigade reported that the building had known safety issues. Grenfell was 7 years ago now, and the speed at which these unsafe claddings are being replaced is appalling in my opinion. The fact we still have thousands of buildings with unsafe cladding after the Grenfell fire, which killed 72 people 7 years ago, is a disgrace. The new Labour government should have prioritised this when they came into power. Now, a story's caught my attention that isn't construction related, but it does have a link to our industry. Ofsted has made an amazing U-turn, scrapping one-word school Ofsted grades with immediate effect. Now, why is this relevant to construction? The link is mental health and suicides. A head teacher, Ruth Perry, sadly took her own life last year after Ofsted downgraded her school. This made an awful lot of headlines as there was a firm link between her work pressures leading to her taking her own life. Now, I thoroughly support this move and think it's a good thing, but the construction industry's lost 749 people to suicide in 2022 in England and Wales alone. This figure was exclusively revealed by us here at the Build Network UK back in June, having worked closely with ONS, the Office of National Statistics. We know for a fact that some of these were down to work pressures. With construction having the highest suicide rate in any industry, what has got to happen for something to be put in place? The suicide figures have risen consistently for years, so clearly what we've got in place is not working. I'll say this again, it's got to come from the top. We need to have a change in legislation. Until this happens, which could be a long way off, one company has got to put its head above the parapet, start making these positive changes throughout its organisation. When this succeeds, the rest will follow. So if you and your company want to make a difference, please do get in touch with us here at the Build Network UK. Housing starts across the UK slumped 34% to just 29,820 in the first quarter of the year, underlining the scale of challenge the government faces in hitting its 300,000 new homes annual target. The number of new dwellings completed in the first quarter of 2024 was down 17% year on year to 38,400 units. This ranked as the worst quarterly delivery performance for completions since the start of 2016, setting a trajectory of just 153,000 new homes likely to be completed by the end of 2024, half of the previous and the new government's annual housing delivery target. Here at the Build Network UK, we've outlined the many areas the government need to focus on in order to get anywhere near this target. Finally, lifting specialist Mammoet has launched what it claims to be the world's strongest land-based crane. The SK6000 is designed to be used on large energy and infrastructure projects where ever bigger modular pieces need to be installed. The SK6000 can lift 3,000 tonnes to a height of 220 metres and has a maximum capacity of 6,000 tonnes. The SK6000 is currently undergoing testing at Mammoet's Westthorpe facility in the Netherlands, ready for deployment to its first project later in the year. To conclude, this week's one to follow, a carpenter based in Essex called Lewis. Not only is he an incredibly talented chippy, but he also explains and shows all of his work really well on his social media platforms. So, if you want to learn from and follow one of the best, you can find Lewis on his YouTube channel at LTW Carpentry and Instagram at LTW Carpentry.